Today, I'll be showing you how to make a sandwich. There are lots of things you'll need to make a complex sandwich, like this one. You do not necessarily need all of these things, but I am laying out the ideal circumstances for sandwich making. Firstly, you'll want various knives. You'll want a bread knife. Alternatively, this can be a steak knife. You'll want a knife to cut fruit. This can be anything as long as it's not overly short, because you'll need to cut all the way through the fruit. And then you'll want a knife for scooping and for spreading. You'll also want a slightly damp cloth, some sort of water ready if you need to add water to it. You'll want your meat. In this case, it is hard salami. You'll want your cheese. In this case, baby Swiss. You'll want your various vegetables. In this case, American tomato, a red pepper. You'll want your sauces. In this case, yellow mustard and classic mayo. You'll also want your bread. So let's get right into the making of a sandwich. First step, your bread. Get whatever bread you're going to want to eat. Although regularly you would cut on the side, in this case, I'm going to be cutting the long way in the middle because I'd like to show you the best slices. Usually you will not be working with entirely ideal bread slices. Once your cooking area is clean, you should then start in with the next ingredient. In this case, a pepper. Now you should cut into it. The next thing you should do is grabbing the green handle, pull away the seeds. Grab one piece of pepper, set it face down on your cooking table, get your pepper, and cut as thin a slice as you're possibly capable of in order to put on the sandwich later. Now that your pepper is cut up, you may be noticing that some of your slices are less than perfect. This does not matter, as your mouth will not notice as well as your eyes do. Next, clean off your two knives. Grab your cloth and clean it as so. Now that your knives are clean, set this material aside in order to cut the next thing, which is the tomato. The next step is to cut off the top of the tomato. I recommend also cutting off the bottom part as well. Once you have that done, now you simply cut your tomato into slices. So, grab your slices once more. Now, grab some of it, as much as you feel is proper, and layer it on top. Once you have accomplished this, repeat for the other slice of bread. The next step is to start accessing your internal materials. I first recommend cheese, although some prefer to do meat first. Layer on at least one layer, but however much you believe is best. This does not need to be pretty, as your mouth will not notice as your eyes do. Once the cheese has been layered on, then you may wish to consider your secondary condiment. Layer a thin amount of mustard onto part of your sandwich, and spread the mustard. The next step is your vegetables. I recommend finding a good piece of tomato. Then you will find your peppers simply attached to the top. The next and nearly final step is to grab your meat, in this case my hard salami. With your meat, you will simply layer it on top of your previous ingredients until you feel it is sufficiently covered as you desire. Add a small amount of additional cheese in order to break up the meat. Once you have done this, grab your sandwich and set it on top of your other part of your sandwich. You have now completed one sandwich.